Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Wednesday, the 20th of May. 14 prison staff have been arrested in Auckland after a police operation across 2 corrections facilities. 9 officers were taken into custody from Mount Eden Corrections Facility today and 5 reintegration officers at Auckland South Corrections Facility. A spokesperson for Auckland South says it has zero tolerance for any behaviour that compromises safety. It says it remains confident most staff act with integrity every day. Police have been approached for comment. The Finance Minister says she's disappointed by new revelations. MFAT is exempt from cutting spending this year. It's been confirmed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade won't be given a reduced baseline budget. Most agencies face 2% cuts. MFAT will be subject to the same 5% reduction for most agencies next year and the year after. Nicola Willis says debate will continue on value for money in foreign affairs.
I'm disappointed on behalf of those New Zealanders who might have liked to see if there were some savings that MFAT could have been making.
The Minister for Regulation warns New Zealand's regulation environment needs a critical review. The Ministry's inaugural State of Regulation shows we have nearly 270 different entities. David Seymour cites the example of dog control, which is governed by 5 different government agencies with laws spanning 11 different acts. He says it would be a great outcome to reduce regulators by a quarter or a third.
I think a fair and logical goal should be that any New Zealander wanting to do something should only have to knock on one regulator's door.
Labour leader Chris Hipkins doesn't think the public much cares about which companies would be in the party's future fund. It won't be revealing key details, including the cost to the Crown and which state assets would go into it, until after voters go to the polls. Finance spokeswoman Barbara Edmonds yesterday said they'll need official advice post-election before knowing which public assets can feed into the fund. Hipkins says the objective is simple.
The proposition's quite clear. National wants to sell public assets. We want to keep them and put those profits to work for New Zealanders.
More than 100 birds have died at a Nelson community garden after eating grain volunteers believe was poisoned. Biosecurity NZ is taking swabs to rule out infectious disease. The Banking Association's advising people to test the market. Consumer NZ hasn't given out the People's Choice Banking Award this year for the first time in a decade, saying too many customers were unhappy. But despite the low satisfaction, only 4% swapped banks in the past year. Banking Association Chief Executive Roger Beaumont has a clear message for New Zealanders.
If you're in any way dissatisfied with your bank, you should switch banks.
To sport, and South Sydney forward Jai Arrow has announced his retirement from the NRL after being diagnosed with motor neuron disease. Arrow has played 178 NRL games and 12 matches for Queensland. Will Jordan returns from a calf injury for the Crusaders in their Round 15 Super Rugby match against the Chiefs on Friday. And the New York Knicks have launched a 22-point comeback over the Cleveland Cavaliers to take Game 1 in the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals, 115-104 in overtime. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.